So starting our walk with God and starting our journey with God and really truly seeking God, you know, um, it can be hard because we know that what it is that God brought us out of isn't, the ideal situation that we believe. You know what I'm saying? To go into Christianity, it's like we sometimes we feel like, man, you know what I'm saying? Why is it that God is calling me to do these things, or how if God is calling you to be a teacher, or someone to spread his message, you know what I'm saying, we sometimes feel like, man, how can I tell people about God when what I'm saying, I was probably doing worse than what I'm saying the people I'm gonna be talking to. What I'm saying, sometimes we feel like the transition for us, God has already forgiven us. God has already called us for greater things, and we're now following God. And what I'm saying, God, he what I'm saying, is the he done dusted off. What I'm saying, but we hold on to it, and what I'm saying, sometimes it becomes a hindrance as we move, because we keep, because the devil will throw it in your face, what I'm saying, as you get closer, what I'm saying, and then you gotta try to, I'm not that no more. What I'm saying, I'm not gonna dwell on that, I'm not that no more. And then you walk some more steps. And as you get closer and closer, what I'm saying, the devil tries to throw it up again, what I'm saying, sooner, what I'm saying, sometimes, what I'm saying, we get tripped up a little bit. What I'm saying? But I wanna encourage you on your walk, that, and something to take with you, is that Saul, which is known as Paul, after he accepted Christ into his life, what I'm saying, he murdered Christians. He murdered the disciples of God. You know what I'm saying? That was his thing. You know what I'm saying? He found joy in that, because he thought that he was doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? In God's eyes, by going around and what I'm saying, murdering people, and locking the disciples up, and what I'm saying, doing all of this against God. This is what he did before he accepted what I'm saying, Christ into his life. What I'm saying, this man was a murderer of God's disciples, but yet God still worked through him to save so many other lives. And you also got Simon. What I'm saying, Simon practiced sorcery. What I'm saying, he was a sorcerer, and he also tried to buy God. What I'm saying, he seen the disciples working, and he was like, man, how much that costs? So not only was you practicing sorcery and witchcraft, what I'm saying, you thought that you can just buy your way into the kingdom. So it's like, so when the devil throws up your past in your life, what I'm saying, tries to trip you up, what I'm saying, just keep going, because God has called you for greater. God has commissioned you for a purpose, to walk with him. He knows your sin for life. You know what I'm saying? The book said, what I'm saying, we was born into sin, shapen in iniquity. God knows, but he still called you. He still called me. He knows the past, but he still sits there and says that I want you. When the disciples was against accepting Saul / Paul into the disciples because he was a murderer, God came and said, I have called him for a purpose, to reach people that you won't be able to reach, He's going to save lives that you won't be able to save. I need him. God has called you for something. And he knows what you did in the past. He knows all of that. But he wants you to leave that and follow him. Because all the wrong you done did in the past, God said he has something for you that you can do. You have a purpose that you can do. You know, it may not feel, you know what I'm saying, like that in the beginning. It may not feel like, man, you know what I'm saying, I'm here to make a difference, but God has called you to make a difference. You know, it may not, you know, it may be overseas. It may not be overseas. You know what I'm saying? It could be that person that lives next door to you that only you can reach. That the local church has tried to reach this person for a long time, but God said, I'm going to save his neighbor. And I'm gonna allow his neighbor to then reach that person. There's someone at your job that people have been trying to reach and have been trying to bring to God, but has been unsuccessful. And God said, I'm going to use you to then bring this person that you work with to God. God has a purpose. He has a plan. And it does not matter what your past says. God has a future for you. And that's what we need to focus on. So take out your rearview mirror, because you don't need a rearview mirror to remind you from where you came from. You got enough people in your life that's going to remind you from that already. You got enough enemies in your life that's going to remind you of that already. You don't need a constant reminder of where you came from. You just need a constant reminder of where it is that God needs you to go. So as we go throughout the week and as we go throughout the month, the year, the minutes, the seconds, the milliseconds, I pray that God keeps his hand on you. And I pray that you continue to strive towards that. Continue on the road. Continue on the path, no matter how dark it gets, no matter how it may seem like you know what I'm saying, you might not feel like you want to. Just trust in God. Stay with God. And I pray your strength in the Lord. So let's get church started.